felt passionate about the area that I'd be working in, and it felt like this is where I need to go. As much as I loved the thing that I felt like called to do and what I would be doing in that area, I was like, how do you tell your parents? How do you tell your parents who have paid for your high school, who have paid for your undergrad experience, hey y'all, guess what? I am gonna go get a job where I gotta go raise my salary. Like, what? I'm like, how did I get here? Welcome back, beautiful ones. I am Jodine, the hustling homebody herself. In my videos, I aspire to equip you with tools to help you carry out your purpose, your vision, and your goals, while also empowering you and encouraging you to create spaces that feel like home, spaces that allow you to rest. So if this is your first time, welcome to my channel. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, press that notification bell for more videos like this. Today's video is a little bit different. It's gonna be more of a chat versus like a productivity thing, but I figured I'd talk to you about life after grad school. I graduated in 2017 with a BA. I majored in psychology and I majored in sexuality, women, and gender studies. In psychology, I focused more on clinical psychology and social psychology. I've been out of college for about 3 years. In that time, I've been working. I was thinking about what I wanted to do after college. I had two big options on the table. So one of them was continuing my internship. So I was an Inroads intern, which I truly enjoyed. It was a good time. I was able to work my summer. I was able to go back in the winter, make some money, you know, good people. I really enjoyed my Inroads experience. So I had that on the table to continue to work with that company that I was working with and that I actually work for now. But in terms of deciding what I wanted to do, it was hard. So I was working with Inroads. Junior summer, I decided that I did not want to go back. I decided that I wanted to apply for a grant with my undergrad institution. They were giving money for you to do research. So I applied for a grant so that I could get research as a scholar to help with my thesis that I'd be writing in the fall. And I decided that I would do that. I was hesitating to do that, y'all, because I was like, one, this job that I had is lined up. It's a pretty clear trajectory. I've seen people do it before of what they'll do. The money, I was like, the money's there too. Like, sis, what are we doing? Anyways, but I decided that I would do that. It's funny because the person who was my Inroads like supervisor, he thought I was making the worst decision ever, and made sure that I knew that I was making that decision. He was like, this is not a good idea. I think that you should stay. He was telling me that I was making a horrible decision. But I decided to just kind of like brush that off and keep going about my plan. I feel like that's what God was calling me to, and that my research was a huge part of who I was and what I wanted to explore at that time. Okay, I'm gonna trust this process. So I did that and kind of ended up closing the door on that. Came to the fall, I clearly was again like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it? Everyone's applying to these jobs or applying to school. And for me, it's my junior spring-ish. I had been thinking about going to work for this organization that I work for now. And I was kind of on the fence about it. There's like a lot of different things. So like I said, money was a huge part of it. What does it mean to leave my stable job with this as an intern where I was making money, I could count on it, and pursue this thing that was unstable and that required fundraising and networks that I didn't have. I was nervous about it too, because as much as I loved the thing that I felt like called to do and what I would be doing in that area, I was like, sis, how do you tell your parents? Okay, how do you tell your parents who have paid for your high school, who have paid for your undergrad experience, hey y'all, guess what? I am gonna go get a job where I gotta go raise my salary. Like, what? Sis, we just worked 8 years for you to do what? Like, I was just like, this is not gonna go over with my Jamaican parents. They're gonna be like, have you lost your mind? It was hard because what I was pursuing was so different than the stable thing, right? The stable, safe thing, which is working as an intern. There are high hopes in my family that I was working as an intern. I'd be able to pay for my graduate school through that job, that income. I would be set, like, period, set. Like, how do you tell them, yeah, that's a good idea, but I'm gonna go to this unpredictable, unstable thing instead? I was like, where do I start? What do I say? But I ended up telling them, and they were supportive. They were very supportive. You just want to thank God for that, because child, they were very supportive and like not doubting me, not like questioning like why, what are you doing? You're doing something wrong. They asked questions about how I had gotten there, my process, my thoughts, but were very open, encouraging. And as two people who are people of faith as well, they were kind of like, all right, we're gonna trust that if this is where God is leading you, we're gonna trust that you're hearing from God. We're gonna trust that you're hearing from God. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy having that conversation. I knew that that's where I wanted to be. Like, I had very clear vision. I had a very clear vision of this crazy thing that I wanted to do, that I felt passionate about the people that I'd be working with. I felt passionate about the area that I'd be working in, and it felt like this is where I need to go. Like, this is where I need to go. I think I also had to rid myself of aspects of like what it means to depend on money. Like, I think we all live and thus need money in a lot of senses. I am no way, as you can tell from the story, I am not bowling at all. I am very much budget driven. Where are the pennies? Here are my pennies. Let me use these pennies. But the thing about money that's so scary is that it could get you places in a minute, and it could also, once it's gone, so many things could just happen just like that. Like, you're climbing, boop, flop, 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 flop. Fall, flop, all that. I need to be stripped of some of that thinking. What does it mean to depend on God? What does it mean to depend on things that are sure? Yeah, I had to do that work in my own heart and my own mind of like, what does it mean to release some of these things and to go for this thing that I feel passionate about, to take the step of faith, to take this leap and do this thing that is so rewarding. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Since graduating, I have been working for this organization for 3 years. I truly have seen like miracles upon miracles in my situation and my circumstances. I'm so glad for that. I will also say that it was challenging. Like, you had the regular adulting challenges. What does it mean to not be able to go to the cafeteria and just grab my food and go? Like, what do you mean I need to cook? What do you mean I need to know how much portions to prepare for one person? You know, when you grow up in a family with like 4 or more people, you know how much to cook, and like, what does it mean to have to do that for one person? What does it mean to need to be paying all these different bills? What do you mean, Father, that I need to rotate my tires? Like, what do you rotate tires? Or wait, like, you mean I need to schedule time to hang out with my friends? I don't get to just walk down the hallway and see them, or know that I'm gonna see them in a couple of weeks? Like, game changer. Like, what does that mean? You mean I need to do all of this and learn a whole new job? What? Get out of here. So I think that was challenging for me, to learn those different things and figure out what my style was, because not everyone's styles were the same. People didn't prioritize things the same. How do I adjust my productivity levels? How do I adjust what it means to plan? What time do I go to bed? I think that was challenging for me to figure out what that looked like, while also balancing a job, while also making sure I was having a social life. And then I was away from that area, away from friends and new spaces. And I was also commuting for this job. I had a 45-minute commute. It was just a lot. It was really a lot that I was doing, even though I could have landed a secure job, lived at home, lived with friends who were closer to home, because that was reality, and commute 15 minutes. But I was so determined to do this thing that I felt passionate about, I had vision for. I often talk to my friends about the reality of adulting, that adulting is a process. It's a process that keeps changing. Like, you learn one thing and then you have something new happening. Even as I think about grad school now, I realize that adulting in grad school will be very different than I was like adulting and just working a job. the habits, the routines, the rhythms that I've created will all be thrown out of whack completely. So that'll be fun. I graduated, I knew that I did not want to stay away from school too long. I knew that I was going back to school, which I think is important to know where you are, whether you're in the camp of I want to go back to school right away, or I want to take some time before I go to school, or I never will be going to school, or it's something that I would hold open and loosely. So for me, I knew that I wanted to go back to school, and I knew that I wanted to pursue a graduate degree in social work. So it's just a matter of time for me. And then when I hit my 3-year mark, I knew that I wanted to work 3 solid years with this organization and then start thinking about school more seriously. And when 3 years came, I checked in with myself like, hey sis.
Yes, sis.
Since we going back?
Sis, I think we going back.
So I checked in with myself. I felt like that was the right move. So I did that process of like looking at schools, figuring out which ones met what I was looking for, which feels important to not only find schools, but find out what you're looking for in an institution and how you can customize your program while they're applying and then getting in and then choosing which one I went to. So I did that process. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. If you guys want to see more videos about how I applied or what even like reading my personal statement, I can share more with you guys about that. So comment below if you want to see that type of content and hear more about that, and I will let you know. And now I am here. That feels wild to say that I am here. It is time for me to return. One of the things that people always tell me, or when I ask advice or I read advice, just so you know, grad school is nothing like undergrad. And I think it's comforting, but also scary to me. I like control. I like to be able to work with predictable things, with predictable patterns, which you'll notice in a lot of my videos. I'm very much like plan to the T. We're gonna have a pattern, we're gonna have rhythm, we're gonna have routine. So I'm like, what does that mean? How does one prepare for something that's similar in terms of learning, but not similar? And no one can tell you how it's not similar. So it's just like, what I mean. I'm excited about that part. I have a lot of hopes for grad school. I'm excited for this journey. I'm excited for this journey. You guys will see my videos on that, like how I'm learning my systems, how I'm adjusting. I've set up a schedule now, and part of me is just holding it so loosely. But that's okay, because we believe in erasers around here. We believe in Excel undo functions. We believe in making copies and erasing things. So that's gonna be okay, because I'm looking forward to being one step closer to what I want to do and my purpose and my vision. And like, I do have a part-time job, like staying with this organization, and I'm going to school part-time, but both of these things are so much in my wheelhouse. They're things that I love, that I feel excitement about working still with these students and what I'll be doing in like that sphere of work, but also learning more about social work, learning about how to be a better counselor, how to be a better social worker, conversations, thinking through human behaviors. I'm excited about those things. I'm excited for this journey. I feel very grateful for it. Thanks for watching this video. I look forward to getting to chat more with you. So yeah, make sure you comment on this video. Tell me what you thought. Tell me about your undergrad experience and how it's different than your grad experience, or how you chose whether or not, if you went to school, what you decided. Did you go to school right away after? Did you go to grad school right away after? Did you decide to take time off? Have you gone back? Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe and share it with your friends. Okay, bye beautiful ones.